Recently, we sent people to the moon on Artemis II, and I thought that was really cool. So today, my goal is to recreate the Artemis II launch in People Playground. Now, unfortunately, I am terrible with the building mechanics in this game, and I also have no engineering experience whatsoever. So building a working rocket is gonna be pretty difficult, but building a safe rocket that keeps the inhabitants safe, that might be impossible. So today, our goal is to orbit the moon and return back to Earth in People Playground. Probably not, but we can try. All right, everybody. Well, here we are on the playground at attempt number 1 of sending Artemis II to the moon and back. And right now, we are actually standing on the moon. I know, it looks a little bit different than you remember it. That is because People Playground doesn't actually have a moon. So I literally just put this big block in the sky, like a few thousand feet off the ground, because this is the ground, and this is the moon that we're gonna have to land on top and then go back down to. And like I said in the intro, our goal is to make a rocket, which I guess we can call Artemis III, the better version, and its goal is to go from the floor to the moon, like we actually have to land on the moon, and then we have to fly back down to the ground, all while keeping this guy inside the rocket completely safe. So this is probably going to be a pretty hard challenge, so we should probably just get started. So let's immediately get an I-beam. This will be a floor here, and I kind of just need to see how much thrust, do I use a jet engine, or what do I even use as my quote-unquote propeller? Probably a thruster, honestly. I mean, that makes sense. Let's just strap 2 thrusters onto an I-beam and just see what happens. Now, obviously, this isn't gonna work. I feel like I should mention that. All right, well, it's kind of crooked. 2 thrusters do get this I-beam off the ground. That's good to know. That's all I really wanted to know. Now, a few rules for this challenge. Number 1, everything has to be destructible. And number 2, I can't use a life syringe to keep my guy alive. This has to be, you know, completely realistic, in quotations. Because obviously, I can't make it 100% realistic. Anyway, my plan here is just to get a bunch of thrusters like this. And I already see a problem. When I activate these thrusters, the I-beam is going to heat up here because these are 1,000 degrees. Yeah, I mean, its I-beam's cooking at 1,000 degrees right now. This is gonna kill our astronauts. So we kind of need to figure out that problem first and foremost. Otherwise, our astronauts won't even make it to the moon. So before we even send someone up to the moon, I need to add, what are they called? They're called insulation pads. And it's literally just a pad of insulation. And I kind of just want to make a box of it around a person, because I feel like they're gonna need to be insulated from the heat. Maybe these will act as some sort of cushion. You know, there'll probably be some harsh impacts here and there. I'm just gonna do a bunch of layers of insulation like this, because I already know heat's going to be a big issue with this challenge. So we got some insulation here, and we're just going to kind of strap this in with some steel bindings. So let's really make sure that this isn't going to break. We cannot have our ship breaking, otherwise that would be detrimental. I also want to say I'm recording this video on the 2nd of April. So if something, I don't want to say this, but if something catastrophic happens to the Artemis II, this video was recorded before it happens, okay? This video isn't as sensitive because nothing has happened, and nothing will happen, but I just want to point that out. Just want to put that out there. This is pre any disaster, okay? Now, with that being said, I'm just gonna keep on strapping these jet engines in, and I need to test something. I want to see how long it takes for this machine to get to the ceiling, because here's my plan, all right? We're gonna build this rocket. Right now, we got the base. We're gonna send a rocket upwards, and then we're gonna stop the thrusters probably about 3/4 of the way up. We're gonna drift up to the moon, and we'll have another thruster push us onto the moon. We'll land on the moon. We'll have a second set of thrusters go off to take us back up, and then we'll have another set to, you know, push us off, and then we'll float back down. Hopefully that made sense. It'll make sense in action, all right? But what I just need to see is I need to time how long it takes to get to the moon. We also need to align it so we're close to the moon, right? I can't be off here. Okay, we need to move over actually quite a bit. We gotta move this thing right here, roughly. This is really close to the moon. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save Artemis III version 1. Okay, I guess I can't put a period in there. Thank you very much. That's cool. Thank you. Can I do this? 1 hyphen-o? Oh, that's stupid. Whatever. We put a person on board, and, well, we send it. Here we go. Uh-oh, we're going sideways. Okay, immediately I realize we're gonna have to add some stabilizers to this thing. Uh-oh. Is our astronaut alive, maybe? Nope. Okay, that was a good first test. Really taught me a lot there. All right, so attempt 1 did not go good. We kind of flipped over and we killed our astronaut. So this time around, I'm going to add a gyroscopic stabilizer, because I also didn't even get to test how long it takes to get to the ceiling, because we immediately flipped. So we gotta test this again. I've also added a rubber duck that I dropped from the corner of the moon to the ground. This just indicates and tells me where I need to place the actual craft at, so I don't have to guess every time. But I just need to see right now, how long does it take to get to the ceiling? This is gonna change when I add more stuff onto the the ship. This is gonna be Artemis III version 1.1. And I mean, good luck, brother. Let's see. Hey, look at this. We're actually moving upwards right now. I just want you all to realize that I've made a working rocket. I'm actually gonna go in slow motion here. This guy just broke his body. Like, he's alive. He's doing good. Oh, okay. Stop the timer. I also went in slow motion, so that completely messed up the time. All right, that was really stupid, actually. I shouldn't have went in slow motion. Okay, well, unfortunately for me, I accidentally went slow motion. Not really accidentally, just really stupidly. So we need to do the test again so I can get an accurate time measurement of when we hit the ceiling, because I didn't before. And stop. Is our guy alive? No. Okay, just making sure. It took about 12 seconds to get to the moon, roughly. So that is good information. No, 12 seconds to the moon. Okay, so I mean, we've got kind of the base of this rocket figured out here. So what I'm gonna do now is I kind of need to add just some sides. Okay, thank you. That's what I wanted to do. No, that's what I wanted to do. I need to add some sides here just, you know, make this look a little bit better, make it actually look like a rocket. So let's quickly do that. Let's make some actual sides here. Actually, can I resize these to where it'll... No, I kind of want this to actually look like a rocket, you know? Okay, everybody, look at this. I add a little bit of a, you know, a triangle roof on this thing to make it look more like a rocket. For some reason, though, this thing kind of glitches out a little bit. I don't know why that is, but we have like an actual good-looking rocket here. Why is this glitching out so bad? I don't understand. What is going on? Why is my game just like, it's not working? Why is Artemis rocking back and what is going on here? Why? Why is this thing I added the roof on and it's just, oh, okay, you don't get a roof then. Is this the problem? No, what is going on here? Okay, apparently the installation's too close together or something. This installation wasn't even hooked on anything. That's what the problem was. Dude, I had to delete the whole roof for this. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not making it look like a rocket. It's gonna just be a working ship and we're just gonna have to live with it, all right? I'm also gonna make these smaller. They don't need to be this big. Okay, I made the insulation smaller so I can fit an I-beam on both sides of it here. This will be important for later on because we need a wall for the thrusters to actually, you know, thrust against. So let's connect everything here. I mean, I guess we can put a roof on it. It's gonna be more like a house, but that's all right. I like this. It's a little house design. Okay, whatever. And the thing's not shaking. We're doing good. So we're gonna put a person on here. And what I want to do is this. I just want to get this thing to the point where it kind of glides up to the moon. All right, we want to glide. Okay, I want to present to you guys Artemis #3 version 2. I did a little bit of, I guess, redstoning here per se, and here's how it works. All right, this is good stuff right here. What I did is I added a fuse right here. That when it's activated, it will activate the sandbox. So basically what this is doing is when I activate this, it activates the thrusters and then deactivates them after 7 seconds. That's what Artemis 3 does right now. Obviously we can't get on the moon with this, but what this will do is it will just tell me like, what do I need to, like what timing do I need to even get to the moon? And officially lifting off. Here we go. So again, in 7 seconds, this should activate the radio, stop the thrusters, and we... Okay, I guess all of the extra stuff I added from the last time really impacted how much we went up, because we did not... Okay, we did not budge nearly as much as before. We didn't even get close to the ceiling. Is our astronaut alive? No. Okay, so what we need to do is we really need to readjust the timings on this. Did I just clear everything? I cleared everything. Oh, dude. Hold on, I gotta respawn the moon in. If I actually delete the moon and I have to respawn in, I have to make sure it's the correct measurement. Otherwise, my contraption, I'll have to retune all of the stuff so it correctly lands on the moon. So deleting the moon on accident is actually detrimental, but not right now because we're in the early stages still. Now, obviously, Artemis II, it did work out decently well. Unfortunately, though, we need to up this lag box time by a lot. I'm thinking probably, like, we should probably do 30 seconds, I guess. A lot of this is going to be fine-tuning and just retesting over and over again. I also didn't strap this guy in for some reason. I don't know why I didn't do that. We're just gonna save this on top of the old one. I didn't really make any changes necessarily. So this is still version 2 in my eyes. And I mean, we're literally just gonna send, like, the exact same thing up, except I didn't activate the stupid stupid gyroscopic stabilizer, and I almost cleared everything again. Here we go. Center back up. There we go. Now the thing's activated, actually. So again, same structure as before, but this time the thrusters will deactivate after 30 seconds as opposed to 7. Dude, I've almost already been recording for half an hour, and we haven't even made it close to the moon yet. This isn't good. Anyways, this should deactivate soon. Where are we at? Oh, we're gonna be a little bit too high, and we also hit the moon. All right, looks like my rubber duck's a little bit off because we just slammed into the moon. And my lag box didn't work. Well, probably because something broke along the way, but okay, so this is what I mean. We're just gonna have to keep setting this thing up over and over again and tweak the timings on it. But the problem is, this is gonna just be null and void because as soon as I add another thruster on, I'm gonna have to redo all the timing. It's gonna be a cat and mouse the game. Isn't there like a sensor or something I can add on this thing? What is this called? What's the sensor called? Yeah, literally, detector triggers an activation signal when it detects anything in front of it. So hold on. If per se, this is gonna be really stupid just to test this. If I strapped a gun to this thing, all right, this should just detect when the gun's in front of it. Yeah, look it. As soon as the gun enters its range, it activates. Enters, activates. Enters, activates. And then it activates again when it leaves. Hold on. Let's change this up a little bit. I think what I can do here is let's get this detector out. I'm learning, guys. I've never used a detector before. This is some new tech for me. And what if I just made it just a little bit bigger? Like this, all right? We're gonna go for gold here. We're just gonna build this whole thing right now and just hope it works. If I build this and I fluke it, this attempt right here, this is gonna be the best accomplishment on this channel. I promise you. So here's how this is gonna work now. Since we're adding this detector up top, this whole lag box thing becomes obsolete, okay? I don't even need it anymore. So now what we need to do is we need to take this fuse box right here and send her up to the old, this detector so it activates. And once this detector detects that there's a ceiling, it should activate this radio down here, which in return deactivates all of the thrusters. But we'll be going way too fast. So this, hold on, this is where everything else comes in. There's this thing in this game called dampening boxes, and what they do is when activated, they just slow down. When you activate them, they just don't even move. But obviously when they're falling, with not activated, they fall. So we take a few of these dampening boxes and we make them big, like so. Ooh, that might be too big. Let's try this size. We add 2, we strap it down, and these are also connected to this fuse box. So this just gets us up to the ceiling, okay? This makes sure we go slow, but we still hit the ceiling. Once at the ceiling, the thrusters are gonna turn off, so we'll probably start descending. You know what? I'm not gonna go for gold here. Let's just try this out, okay? Let's just try this out. Artemis 3, version 3, because this is like a whole new sort of idea here. I don't even know if this makes sense to you guys, but basically, this rocket should go up very slowly. Once it reaches the top, this detector should go off and stop the thrusters. And we should move relatively slowly. The goal is just not to crash into the ceiling, all right? Hopefully this works. I have no idea. This is a lot of just... Okay. Also, does this thing go up slowly? Like, how does it fall? Okay, we need to make the okay, that went... No, I just cleared everything. Okay, I'm back. I spawned on the moon again, which takes longer than you think. I also have it set up now where the moon is 14 meters from the ceiling, so it's like, it's consistent now, or it should be at least. Anyways, we need to figure out why the ship instantly deactivates. I think it's, let me go in slow motion. I think this sends a signal. Yeah, and this automatically sends a signal back down to the radio, which it shouldn't. This radio shouldn't be getting signaled. I honestly think what I need to do is I need to have the detector like always active. Like I think the detector just needs to be active from the beginning. Yeah, I didn't click delete, thank you. And kind of what I mean by that is I'm just gonna have this already activated and I'll just delete this connection. If I do that, does this work now? Or, well, we also need to make the, these bigger because before we still were going up really fast. So let's make our dampening boxes bigger. We need to make sure they're relatively the same size. Here we go. I've already been recording for 42 minutes and once again, we haven't even gotten close. That's all right though. You know, I'm sure we'll have a breakthrough and I think the last half won't be as long. I feel like I don't even need to say anything. I think the actual Artemis ship might finish its mission before we even get to our moon. We need a, okay, the dampening boxes are too big. Like, what size can they be? How about this? How's this? How is it before? We flew up to the ceiling and now we're barely, okay, we gotta change something again, hold on. Or, well, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna quit. We're not rage quitting. We're gonna go on this and we're gonna go into environment time changer and we're gonna activate it. This just makes it so I can speed up the game. That's what we're gonna do instead, all right? We're just gonna speed up the game when something like that happens. So now what I can do is I can really speed up the game, like I can change it to 100x when I drop somebody while that happens, so. Okay, well, I gotta respawn on the moon again, but that's all right. Do I even need to make any changes to this? Like, can I just run this back again, but just, you know, change the speed of time? So, all right, this is gonna take forever, but time simulation speed 43. Wow, this sounds good. It's still going extremely slow. Okay, we need to change it. We're at 43 times speed and it's still going 2 miles an hour. It also destroyed my ears. That was the worst sound I've ever heard before. Like, what size is too much? Like, what is too much? Is this too much? All right, we're gonna try this and we're gonna see how slow this goes. Maybe it won't be too bad. Okay, this seems better. Let's change the time simulation speed to 40. There's the sand grinder again. But you know, we're actually moving upwards, so I can't complain. We're approaching. Let's clock her back down to 1. Holy crap. Okay. Okay. Oh my, this is gonna happen. So what needs to happen right now is this detector needs to detect we hit the ceiling and then deactivate the thrusters. Okay, that's what needs to happen. Right. Because when this thing touches something, it activates. But when it stops touching something, it also activates. That is knowledge. That's good knowledge right there. So wait a second, man. If I'm gonna do this up here while we're already, you know, at the ceiling. If I added a thruster, just a singular thruster to the side like this, is this gonna work? Well, why'd you stop hitting the ceiling? I added one thruster and we suddenly started going downwards? What is this? Hold on, reactivate. Get back up there. Come on. Hits the ceiling, thrusts over. Hits the ceiling. Thrusts over. Hits the ceiling. You have to touch, it has to touch the moon. Touch. Oh, dude. It doesn't touch, but it's so close. This is so stupid. The way I could get down is I have another detector detect to like the right. Like I have it pointing out this way, and then it just detects when we hit the wall all the way over here, and then it falls down. This could work. Like this could actually work. Guys, we're closer than ever. I need you to realize how close we are actually. The issue is I don't know how I want to get this thing to reach the bottom though. Because we kind of just like, we kind of bounce, you know? We don't get close. We like kind of hover right over the moon. Well, we'll figure it out. This is good. We're on the right track here, okay? We're on the right track. Okay, this actually has me hyped because this means that this is like possible. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have more than one thruster over here. I think we should do 2, and actually I'll do 3 because this will be a dual wheeled fixer here. 2 birds, 1 stone is what they usually say. But since there'll be more weight, we should dip down farther when we're, you know, on the decline up at the moon, and we should touch the bottom and not too harsh. And then what this should also do is this will make sure we kind of go over to the side a little bit more. And then what we need to do is we need to have a detector on this side as well. Now this protrudes some. Ooh, but this might hit the moon. Because when we're gonna go up, this is gonna detect when we're close to the moon. We might actually have to just start this thing a little bit further out. No. Oh no. Oh no, my whole plan is going down south right now. Let's just try this out and let's see if this actually bounces off the moon or not. Because this is gonna be important. If this actually bounces off the moon, we're gonna be golden. So let's activate this. Up and away we go. Let's change time simulations. Let's do 50 this time, all right? Oh, good sound. What a spectacular sound this is. Okay, now that we got to the top, whoa. Bounce! We bounced! Hold on, what happened here? We did bounce off the top. I just want to say that. Or I mean, we're on the moon right now, to be clear. But like, why is this, what's going on here? Like, why is this not activated anymore? Were we too heavy? Wait, is this gonna work? Okay, we literally just have to survive this descent, and then we win. My guy, for some reason, broke a lot of his limbs. Whatever. We're gonna hit the ground. We're gonna live. I think we're gonna be fine. Artemis 3. Artemis 3. Here we go. Subscribe, like, hype the video. Join the Discord server, baby. No way is this gonna work by pure chance. I cannot believe that. I actually cannot believe that we just won. My guy's alive. We hit the moon. We just beat the challenge. I can't believe that just happened.